In today's e-learning world, secure data handling is more important than ever. And in my opinion, as advanced developers, we've got to think about how data flows from our courses to external systems. And that's where endpoints come into play. This brief overview module will cover what an endpoint is, why relying solely on JavaScript can be a bit, risky, and how to create secure interactions using both. Let's start by looking at a common scenario you may have faced. You've probably encountered this or wondered how to handle it more effectively. All right, imagine your client wants to collect feedback from participants after taking a course that you've been working on. The client wants to ensure the course was valuable to the participant. No pressure, right? So now we need to gather feedback securely inside the course. A simple but flawed solution would be linking to an external survey site at the end and hoping the user clicks it. But let's be honest. That's not the most reliable method. Plus, anyone could access that form later, and that's a security risk. Another option might be embedding a Google form. But here's the catch. If we embed a web object into the course, participants can still figure out the Google Sheet address. That means they could tamper with it later, which isn't ideal. And embedding a form using an iframe doesn't really help us track who's providing the feedback. So, what's a better way? Creating our own form directly in Storyline keeps everything on brand and in our control. But instead of exposing the data, we send it to a secure endpoint. Think of the endpoint like, it's kind of like typing in a website address. You send a request, and the server responds with the page. Same idea here. The endpoint only responds when it's called. The best part? We can secure that call so only requests from our Storyline course are accepted. If someone tries to access it from elsewhere, they'll hit an error. Using this endpoint, it gathers the variables and processes them based on what we need. In this case, let's save the variables to a Google Sheet. For simplicity, imagine we're saving the participant's name, the date and time they submitted the form, and their feedback. Once that's stored, we and our client can securely access the data whenever we need it. Simple, right? But what if we use JavaScript alone to handle this function? It might seem easier at first. The big problem with JavaScript in Storyline is that everything becomes exposed to the end user. And if you save your variables directly to the Google Sheet, it's relatively easy for someone to find the Google Sheet URL and access it. They could even manipulate the data or share the link with others. Imagine posting sensitive company information through the feedback form only to have someone access and alter it later. With the endpoint approach, the Google Sheet URL stays hidden, and only the endpoint can securely access it. Now, let's consider another scenario. The participant submits their feedback, and we want to analyze that feedback for overall sentiment, whether it's positive, neutral, or negative. Maybe we even want to flag the interaction if any profanity or concerning comments are included. I know, this might sound a bit complex, but this is where OpenAI comes in. With a prompt, we can ask OpenAI to act as an AI assistant and evaluate the feedback. Something like, analyze the participant's feedback and tell me if it's positive, neutral, or negative. We can take that result, add it to the Google Sheet, and trigger an email to HR if there was any profanity or concerning comments in the feedback submission. But that's not all. Endpoints aren't just for data collection. They can also enhance interactive learning. Let's look at one more example using this same essential workflow. But let's imagine asking the participant to answer a question with a simple text input box on the slide. We can now replace all of the dreaded multiple choice questions and instead have the participant write their answer in an open response format that is then analyzed and responded to by our trained OpenAI model. Now participants have to use critical thinking and get validation on their answer, or have a moment of clarity from the OpenAI response. Pretty impressive, right? By integrating a large language model into our courses, we're not just gathering feedback. We're creating dynamic, conversational experiences that engage learners. And we can track common questions and challenges to continuously improve our courses. Well, we've just touched the surface of what we can use endpoints for, and I hope you're excited about adding these new possibilities to your courses. By interacting with this brief module, you'll see firsthand how we can transfer data between courses and use AI to enhance learning. So, if you're ready to take your e-learning courses to the next level with secure data handling, interactive feedback mechanisms, and AI-powered learner engagement. Sign up to be notified about our upcoming webinar, where we'll go through more examples of creating endpoint projects firsthand. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for more updates about our course progress and upcoming webinars.